Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the announcement of Bike to Work Week and pop-up bike lanes that extend from Linglestown Road all the way down to Riley Street in the city. My name is Jim Buckheit. I represent Bike Harrisburg. We have the privilege of having with us today Mayor Papenfuss, Susquehanna Township Board of Supervisors President Frank Lynch, and the President of HAC, Dr. Ski. Bike to Work Week is next week, starting actually on Sunday, and Bike to Work Day is Tuesday, September 22nd. It's a national event led by the League of American Bicyclists, and it's designed to encourage people to bike to work, to school, for shopping, and for recreation. Bike Harrisburg is a partnership of the Harrisburg Bicycle Club, Recycle Bicycle, the Capital Area Greenbelt Association, and the Susquehanna Area Mountain Bike Association. We work to encourage people to use their bikes for transportation, recreation, and for environmental and health reasons. We recognize that more people will ride their bikes if roads and pathways are made safer and more accessible. The temporary pop-up bike lane, which provides a corridor between Susquehanna Township and downtown Harrisburg, will be in place through September 27th. That's next week from Sunday. This unique, full-time collaborative project involves Bike Harrisburg, the City of Harrisburg, and Susquehanna Township. It demonstrates how local government working together can improve bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure that contributes to improve the quality of life to citizens throughout the region. The effort demonstrates how we can improve options to allow people to use multiple modes of transportation, getting to and from work and school and other activities. To tell us more about this and other plans to expand opportunities for bicycling in the city of Harrisburg, it's my pleasure to introduce Mayor Papenfuss.
Thank you, sir. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you all. It's good to see you. I'm excited to be biking to work. I'm going to literally bike over to City Hall. At noon, I've got Facebook Live, and we're going to be discussing all sorts of exciting topics. But I'm going to park my bike right in the studio, and we're going to also talk about Bike to Work Week. I did want to start, because of the location in particularly, on a somewhat somber note. I wanted to tell you the story of a young man named Donald Welsh. Donald, back in 2017, was 25 years old. And he worked for me at the Midtown Scholar Book Warehouse, which is located right behind us. You can see it at the brick building right there at the city line. Donald lived in Allison Hill on State Street. He was a young guy just finding his way in the world, and his primary means of transportation was a bicycle. He didn't have a car, and that's like many of the residents of this city. They don't have cars, they have bicycles, and they enjoy the freedom that bicycles offer them. They enjoy the economy. But every day, Donald would get on his bicycle and he'd ride down State Street, and he'd ride over the State Street Bridge. He'd turn down 7th Street, eventually make his way down 6th Street, and he'd come right out here to the warehouse. Well, unfortunately, one evening back in 2017, on the way home from work, on State Street, when he was almost home, Donald was hit and killed by an automobile. And when I went to the funeral and spoke to his parents, I promised his parents that we were going to do everything in our power to make that street safer. And as I think you know, State Street has had over a half dozen fatalities in recent years and has been seen as one of the most dangerous streets in all of America, and certainly on the East Coast. After 2 years of working very closely with PennDOT, because State Street is a state road, we were able to announce this past week that we had finally reached an agreement to completely redesign that street. We're going to give it a road diet, and we are going to have bike lanes that are parking protected on both sides of State Street. And they're going to go all the way to the city line and the capital area Greenbelt at Reservoir Park, all the way down State Street, across the State Street Bridge, and they're going to connect into the series of bike lanes that we continue to develop here in the city of Harrisburg. It's a big day and a big, wonderful announcement. The best part about it is that PennDOT's going to pay for it, which is equally amazing, thanks to their dedication. And they're also going to manage the construction schedule, so it's going to start in the spring. So we have that to look forward to with very, very rapid turnaround. The city, at the same time, is managing a project, as you know, on 7th Street that coincides with the new federal courthouse. And that's putting in a two-way cycle track and a roundabout that goes basically from all in front of FIA all the way to the new federal courthouse. And Ambrose Buck, who's with us here as the project manager for the city, recently received funding to extend the urban meadow, which runs by Hack Midtown campus, all the way from 3rd Street. Yes, of course, our favorite community college, the best, all the way up to the new federal courthouse. And the city is also applying for another grant to help develop the Riley Street corridor for safer pedestrian and bicycling traffic. All this is happening, and all of it also connects to our newest dedicated bike lane, which is the new bike lane on 6th Street that we're going to get to experience here today. So the sharrows and the cones are really reminders for everybody to share the road. They're a start, but when we get to Riley Street, you're going to get a chance to ride in the new bike lane if you haven't already. All of this is part of a commitment. We call it Vision Zero. It's about making our streets safer for everyone, pedestrians, bicyclists, those who are driving and those who want to use transit. It's a complete transformation of how we view our roads and their purpose. It's a quality of life issue, and we are absolutely thrilled and honored to see everybody here. I'm really looking forward to biking to work, and I especially want to thank our partners in the surrounding municipalities, including Susquehanna Township, for recognizing that we're all connected. And one of the great ways to connect us even more is to extend these routes. I like the fact that in reverse, we can bike all the way back to the Greenbelt and Lingelstown Road, and we can get on the beautiful new bike lane extension that goes all the way to Fort Hunter, which I know is one of the greatest new amenities that we've seen over the past several years. So thanks everyone for coming. I look forward to biking with you shortly.
And now we'll hear from the other key partner, the president of the Susquehanna Township Board of Supervisors, Frank Lynch.
Thanks, Jim. Board of Commissioners, but that's okay. I'll be a supervisor for today. Thanks, everybody, for coming. This is really a proud day for me and for the Board of Commissioners because as much as possible, we want to work with local governments to make sure we're all in this together. We want to make sure that we provide a safe route to work, in this case, for people, and National Bike Week is a great way to underscore that. In Susquehanna Township, we've done a number of things. We've included in our comprehensive plan that any new development or redevelopment has to include consideration of bicycling, bicycle lanes. You see the sharrows painted up and down 6th Street here. Right now we have cones because we wanted to designate where those sharrows are going to be going. It's very important that we share the road and do it responsibly. In Susquehanna Township, we've done another things. The mayor just talked about the Fort Hunter extension, which thanks to PennDOT, I don't know if they're here, but they paid for it. It was an amazing attribution that really makes our community a better place, and actually Harrisburg City a better place, because you can get on your bike, ride through Susquehanna Township, go all the way up to Fort Hunter without really facing any meaningful traffic whatsoever. Another major thing that we did in Susquehanna Township to make biking easier for recreation, for commuting, is about 6 years ago, the Andrea Avenue Spur. Watch out behind you there. Okay. The Andrea Avenue Spur connects the Greenbelt, which runs behind the Township Highway Garage along Alberton Avenue, to Progress Avenue. That cost us a total of about $50,000. Almost all the work was done, and we got that through a county grant. All the work was done by volunteers. We call them Engineers Without Borders. But in a practical sense, what that little spur did, it went along the sewer right away, and it connected the Greenbelt to hundreds and hundreds of homes on the east side of Progress Avenue. So in both Susquehanna Township and Lower Paxton Township. And that's important because Elmerton Avenue and the Andrew Avenue spur and the Greenbelt behind it are important connectors to get down to the employment corridor on Elmerton Avenue. DEP, State Police, Fish and Boat Commission, Game Commission, and all the way down into the city. So and it's a great way. I can get from Harrisburg, from my house out near the Dairy Queen, to the state capitol in about 20 minutes because of that spur. And if I were still working, that'd be something that I'd be doing on a regular basis. So we're proud to be here today and support this. I'd like to emphasize that I got into bicycling because it was fun. I rediscovered it probably about 15 years ago. I rode my bike to work once in a while, not too often I must say, because it wasn't always as easy as we're trying to make it now. And it's not just biking for biking's sake, but it's biking for both to get from point A to point B, but also to enjoy, and that's the kind of biking I like to do. There's another truck behind us here. Anyway, I happen to be at a bookstore, and it's not my favorite bookstore. My favorite bookstore, of course, is Midtown Scholar. But I picked up this book a couple years ago, and it's called Just Ride, and I was attracted to it because it kind of fits my personal philosophy about biking, and that is, to sum it all up, I call it accidental exercise. Yeah, it's a way to get from point A to point B, to get to work, to go to the store, but it's also, a fun way to explore your neighborhood and different areas. And the philosophy is great. The philosophy of the book and the writer, by the way, biked to work almost every day of his career. He's since retired and he now runs a bike shop in California, and he put this book together. It's called Just Ride. It's basically a fun group, or a fun way to enjoy for the two wheels. Part of his writing is something I think is very useful for us today as we consider Bike to Work Week. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Biking should be fun. Yes, it can be economical. It can be a way to get away from expensive car traffic, from parking, from mass transit, but it should be fun. You have to enjoy it, and all my friends in the bike club know this very well. And here's some of his writing that I think fits us today. And he's writing about commuting to work on your bike, and the purpose is not so much to just preach, proselytize, or tell you to get on your bike and go to work, but his purpose was to lay it out there that bike commuting isn't a matter of willpower or dedication to the earth. It's more a matter of surveying the whole commuting picture. And these are important: distance, time, weather, risk, side trips, convenience, and disincentives to driving or taking public transportation, and seeing which one wins. What you do without guilt. You don't need anybody to tell you to commute by bike. If your situation lends itself to that, you will. If you haven't tried it, try it and see how it goes. Thank you all for coming today.
Another key partner in supporting cycling and commuting in our area is Harrisburg Area Community College. It supports commuting to the campus by its staff and students, and hosts a portion of the Capital Area Greenbelt, which runs directly through its main campus. To share his perspective on this effort, it's my honor to introduce the president of HAC, Dr. Skate.
How many of you in this audience, how many of you know where HAC is? There we go, good. So we're very fortunate as a community college to have about a mile of the Greenbelt that runs right through the campus. And I know that many of you know how beautiful that campus is, as we educate about 17,000 students at the college. Even though we're remote now, we're delighted that you're able to come through the Harrisburg campus and experience the Arboretum and about a mile worth of our property. And so I want to encourage you to continue to do that. But I'm excited on my way to work today that you are here and that you're celebrating this opportunity. I think it's excellent to see where political entities can work together, cities, townships can work together to produce this. We know we have a beautiful city, and what I especially appreciate, having moved from Portland, Oregon, is that we now are going to maybe do even better than what Portland, Oregon does. So I'm looking forward to having Bicycle Magazine rate us #1 compared to Portland, Oregon. But I do and want to say thank you to our elected officials who are committed to this. We know that we have many students, and we're hoping we get many more students who will participate in activities at the college by using the bike lanes, by using the green belt. We feel that it's a great way to get more in our community onto our campus. So I congratulate all of our elected officials. I congratulate PennDOT and thank everyone who's involved. And as I look out to the sea of our Harrisburg Bicycle Club members, thank you for the role that you play in promoting bicycling throughout our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ski. Thank you, President Lynch and Mayor Pappenfuss. As you heard, this is a unique collaborative effort between City of Harrisburg and Susquehanna Township. We hope it's just the start, that this model will be expanded to the other municipalities that surround Harrisburg, and will have this ongoing network that allows for people who wish to bicycle in and out of our capital city to do so in a comfortable and safe manner. We thank the city, Susquehanna Township, and HAC for their ongoing support. I also want to extend our thanks to Dick Norford, who really helped coordinate this effort to make this happen, who wasn't able to be here with us today. You know, one of the interesting things is during this pandemic, bicycling has expanded in beyond anyone's imagination. For a long time, if you went to a bicycle store, you wouldn't be able to buy a bicycle because everybody's been in there purchasing them. If you had an existing bicycle and needed a repair, you might have to wait a month and a half because of the backlog of people wanting to use their bicycles. We believe this will stick, that this practice will probably continue, that people will get on their bikes to get places for a long time to come. So we appreciate the leadership of the city and Susquehanna Township, and I'm sure they would be happy to answer any questions that anyone might have at this point. Anyone? Questions? Okay, I'm sure they'll also be available immediately following if you want to talk to them individually. So I think our bicycle riders are going to be riding down into Harrisburg following the route. And some people go down into Harrisburg, and some people who came from across the river will be going the other way. So there'll be probably some photo opportunities to take advantage of that. So with that, thank you for coming, and happy riding and safe riding.